These days, I'm known as Warren, sometimes known as Daddy, quite often known as Mr. Jones, and I have been known as Spindrift. Currently, I'm working on a new career, and I would fashion this career as an eco-technologist. And what that means, you'll have to come back in about 20 years, and I may have figured it out by then. I certainly don't have it right now. So I have a question that says, who and where are you? Who and where are you? Well, I'm from the human species. I live on a planet called Earth, which has an atmosphere that sustains this particular kind of life form. It breathes oxygen, eats plants and animals, and lives off solar energy. Somewhere in a galaxy. My favorite place these days, my favorite place is wherever I'm at. And I'm perfecting this, really working on it. I'm working on being here now. My favorite lover is myself. And my favorite piece of furniture is a pair of Moroccan doors I made about 15 years ago. I think that's the closest to my favorite piece of furniture ever. What is freedom? Freedom is to know myself and to be able to express my intimate desires. What is Heraclitus? Heraclitus is an idea. When you talk with ravens, what do you think about? I think about What do they think about? I don't know. I think about what they think about. I've been talking to them for at least 40 years. And I think that they think about what I think about. When in life have you felt most alone? Nowadays, that's a relatively easy question for me to answer. I feel most alone when I'm intimate with myself. And it's a different kind of loneliness. It's something that I've never experienced before. And it's really sweet. Very sweet. In fact, it's a certain kind of loneliness that I try to savor. And it's usually just a fleeting moment. But I seek more, so whatever I'm doing is working. What makes those skinny men so sexy? I didn't know they were sexy. Well, I've always heard that the meat is always sweeter the closer to the bone. How do I imagine death? Well, I don't imagine it anymore. It's a timely question. Just a few weeks ago, I was experimenting with death, with my own death. And I practiced breathing and not breathing. And I sensed these things. And I find that when you die, or you're about to die, or you're on the verge, or if you're preparing for death, there's a guide, this being that helps you through this and walks you through it and takes the fear away and shows you what you can expect. And there's many other people or beings, as it is, who are really glad to have you there and willing to help in any way they can to make this transition this particular time, I realized, right before I actually would have begun to die, that I wasn't ready yet. And I told my guide that I wasn't ready. And he said, "That's perfectly okay. When you're ready, I'll be here." So that's how I imagine death. Who has been the biggest influence over my life? Well, I would have to say it was my mother. I don't believe I would have life, this one, if it wasn't for her. And what's the most distractive influence on my life? To not being able to keep my attention on what I'm working on. What do I want? Good question. What do I want? I don't know if I can answer that one. What I think I would want, if I could have it granted, would be to get it right in this life and not have to reoccur over and over and over again. I think that would be it.